All right, so I hope everybody's back. So the break time's over. I hope you guys are ready to get started. Okay, so at least one of you is ready and a few more. Okay, all right, so we'll go ahead. Still have some ground to cover. So we're now going to look at the double click for publishers. Okay, so Google has another tool or another service which is known as a double click, and you might have seen this while visiting several websites. As you kind of browse the internet. So double click is basically an ad network. Okay. There are two different, ad server, not ad network. We'll talk about this in detail. So there are two variations of this double click. One is double click for advertisers and one is double click for publishers. Okay. Now double click for advertisers is meant only for people who want to promote their products and services, and it's not readily available. You have to actually talk to Google directly and get an account of Google double click for advertisers. But if you have a website and if you want to run ads on your website, you can use this ad server from Google called double click for publishers. Okay. So how is the double click for publishers different from Google AdSense? So for the first, Google double click for publishers, and we'll call it DFP for short. So DFP stands for double click for publishers. So DFP is an ad server, and it basically allows you to manage ads on your website. Okay. And when I say it allows you to manage ads on your website, it allows you to manage ads from multiple advertisers, including AdSense. Okay, so AdSense was just one ad network that you could use to run ads, but in this case, you can have ads from multiple ad networks as well as direct advertisers. So you are able to use Google DoubleClick as DoubleClick for Publishers (DFP) as an interface that will allow you to manage all the different advertisers on for your website, including Google AdSense. Okay, so you are going to use Google DFP to optimize and to rotate your ads in such a way that you generate the maximum revenue. Okay, and Google DFP allows you, like I said, it allows you to integrate multiple advertisers, not just Google AdSense, while Google AdSense can be used as a fallback. Okay, so when there are no ads from anybody, any other advertiser, you can run Google AdSense. So this is the benefit of having DFP. The most paying advertisers' ads will show up first. DFP will make sure that you make the maximum amount of money for your website. So very quickly, if I go here and show this. So you've got, let's say, a web page, and again, you have locations where you want to run ads. So I have one here, and one ad like this. Okay. Now we use AdSense to fill up these ad spots, right? But I said that AdSense doesn't really pay that much, and AdSense usually should be your fallback option. You should have other methods of monetization, like by selling goods or products and services, and only when nothing else is available, you should go for AdSense. So you may have direct advertisers, or you may have run your own in-house ads. Whatever is there. In-house ads are like ads promoting your own products and services. You can have direct ads and in-house ads, like for example, some companies may approach you directly and tell that you may want to run ads. Now, of course, these companies will pay you higher. When you're running ads through Google AdSense, what happens is Google AdSense keeps a part of that revenue, right? Google wants to make profit as well, right? So Google has to keep a part of the payment as commission. Therefore, the payments via Google AdSense are not that high. But if somebody is approaching you directly, they'll obviously pay you much higher. So those are the kind of advertisers that you want to work with. So you can run ads from these advertisers, okay? Or you may some places even run your in-house ads. Of course, in-house ads don't make you any money. But if there's no direct advertiser happening, there's no ad happening from other advertisers, you can use AdSense. So when there's no direct advertisement happening for you, so there's no ad available, AdSense will fill in and AdSense will start showing its own ads. So in this way, you are able to guarantee that you're making the maximum money from your account. And similar to AdSense, there are some other ad networks as well. And you might have seen this page opened up when I was researching on this. So if you search for AdSense alternatives, I found this site which actually lists some decent AdSense alternatives. So there's Amazon Associates. This is easy to sign up, and you can promote Amazon's ads as well. But with Amazon Associates, you get paid only when somebody actually buys something from there. Helix Media, Everdev, PopCash, AdSterra, Infolinks, Pop Ads, Rev Content. So these are all networks similar to Google AdSense. Of all these other networks, I believe Google AdSense is still the highest paying network. So if you have Google AdSense, you don't really should worry about other ones. But yeah, you can add other ad networks also. Infolinks, for example, which I just showed you. Infolinks or that Pop Ads. You can add some of them over here. And in this case, Google DFP will actually check to see which one of these is paying the highest, and their ad will only show up over here. In most cases, it will still be Google AdSense. When it comes to ad networks, Google AdSense is still the highest paying one, but you can still check, you can apply for, and if you're not able to, sign up for AdSense, if somehow Google, doesn't approve your website, it's easy to sign up for some of these other ad networks, and you'll be able to run ads from them. So you can look at some of these ads. There was another link which I found. I believe this one. Yeah, so these are good ones. So AdSterra, and some of them are good ones. You can sign up for some of these. These are all ad networks similar to Google AdSense. Harish, if you're talking about that Amazon, yes, it's similar to affiliate marketing. So anyway, that's what Google DFP allows you to do. Google DFP will basically manage your inventory. Inventory is how much of available impressions do you have and what size impressions do you have. And Google DFP will effectively manage your inventory by looking at all the options that you have and making sure that you make the best bang off from your website. You get the best money from your websites. So this is what Google DFP does. It's something that allows you to manage your ads properly. So once again, DFP is an ad server that helps you manage ads on your website. It allows you to optimize the ads that you have and rotates ads between all of these options so that you get you generate the maximum revenue. You're allowed to integrate multiple advertisers. So you're not just working with AdSense alone. You're able to work with multiple advertisers, and AdSense can of course be used as a fallback. So if there's no other ad available, then AdSense will be used. Okay. Integration is again very simple. It's a very powerful ad management system actually, and it's got powerful reporting as well. So let's see how to get started with Google DFP. Now, you have to sign up for DFP first, and you do this by going to google.com. In fact, let me open up a blank window. So go to google.com/DFP. So this is the link that you use to access DoubleClick for publishers. Looks like I reached the wrong site. So oops. This is what I typed, right? Or did I make some mistake? Anyway, google.com/DFP is what will take you to the DFP account. And you can sign up for this. Now remember, you can only sign up for Google DFP if you have a Google AdSense account. Okay, so this is kind of the trick over here. If you do not have Google AdSense, you will not be able to sign up for Google DFP account. So Google DFP, let's say sign up criteria. Or eligibility criteria, not Quora. You can already or directly go to Google. So this is a page that I want to send you to. You can look at this. They have that. It's a very small terms and conditions page, but it lists all the eligibility criteria that you should have, and you can read about it to understand better. But yeah, if you're just a small advertiser right now, the basic thing is that you should have a Google AdSense account. Now, since I have one, I am able to sign in. So let's go to google.com/DFP. Oops, I'm typing google.com. That's what's the problem. I think my G is not working properly. So this actually takes me to the Google DFP account. In fact, Google has started calling it Ad Manager now. So the double click for publishers is now called Ad Manager right now. All right. So again, this is my dashboard, and this looks a little complicated interface, but it's actually pretty simple, and I'll explain this to you in just a moment. But let's try and understand how DFP works before we do anything else. Oops. All right. So this is, let's say, your website. What happened? Okay. Okay. Crooked line, but that's okay. Here's a website that you have, and let's say that there's a little ad spot that you want to run ads on. Okay, so in DFP, this is known as an ad unit. Just like in AdSense, this is also called ad unit, but it becomes a little bit more significant here in DFP. So I'm just going to introduce some terms over here, and then I'll explain what they mean as we go further. Okay, so this ad unit is spot on the website where you're able to run your ads. Okay, now to run an ad, you need to have something called an order. Okay, so this is called an order, and let's call this order 1. I really wish my stylus was working, but that's okay. This is order 1, and you may have multiple orders for the same ad spot. Don't worry, I'll explain all of this in detail, and then I'll also show you practically how this all works. So right now I'm just introducing all these terms to you, and you'll learn about them a little bit later on. So this is order 2. So order 1 and order 2, they all want to, and both of them want to show their ads over here. So what is an order? An order in DFP is like a request from an advertiser to run ads on a specific spot on your website. Okay, so order 1 could be from, let's say, a company called Samsung. Okay, so Samsung approaches you and tells you that, you know what, I want to run an ad, and let's say this is your homepage. So Samsung approaches you and tells you that I want to run an ad on the homepage into this ad unit, this medium rectangle. Let's call it MR. Okay, so in this medium rectangle, I want to run my ads. Okay, at the same time, another advertiser, Apple, comes to you, and they also place an order for the same ad spot. Okay, an order is just like, you know, you place an order. Okay, you go to a restaurant, you place an order. So one order has been placed by Samsung, and second order has been placed by Apple. And let's say Samsung wants that I want 50,000 impressions from your website. I want you to commit to me 50,000 impressions. Apple does the same thing. Apple is like, you know, I want, let's say, 100,000 impressions. So manually trying to track everything, you know, if you're giving 100 impressions to Samsung and let's say 100,000 impressions to Apple, manually there's just no way you'll be able to keep track of all of this. And that is why you need a good tool like DFP, because DFP helps you manage all of these orders in a proper way. You can set all of these things inside of a DFP. So again, in DFP, the first thing is the ad unit. The most important thing is the ad unit, where the ad will show up. Now, which ad will show up depends on how many orders you have. Okay, so orders are placed by different companies: Samsung, Apple, company X, company Y, company Z. They could all approach you and tell you that we want to run ads on specific ad units. They will tell you which ad units they want to run, and you can create orders for them inside of Google DFP. And we'll see how to do that. Now, order is just an order, right? You placed an order, but order has some instructions as well, right? So for example, Samsung may place this order, but they may also tell you that, you know what, I want so and so. I want, let's say 50,000 impressions. I want a certain kind of an ad to show, and they have certain other requirements like as well. So the details of the order are contained inside something known as a line item. So inside of a order, you have something called a line item. Okay, so this thing is called a line item. Once again, I know these are all brand new terms to you. This may confuse you, but we'll explain that in detail. So I'm just keeping this diagram as a handy reference. We'll come back to this later on as I start explaining all these other things, right? So this is an item, by the way, not hen. So this is an item. Yeah, better. So order 2 is again from them, and within one order you can have multiple line items. Okay, you can also think of line item as a campaign. Okay, line item is like a campaign. I think this will make more sense. So it's also called, you can also call it as a campaign. It's not really called a campaign, but you can think of it as a campaign. Okay, the easiest way to understand this is like, let's say there's one order from Samsung, but they want to promote two different products. Let's say there is, one iPhone, not iPhone, but one phone here and one for, so they want one campaign for one phone, one campaign for another phone. So you can create multiple line items for them. So think of line items as individual campaigns. So Samsung placed an order. They say that I want 50,000, let's say, impressions from you. Out of these 50,000, I want 25,000 for one phone and 25,000 for another phone. So let's say there's a phone A and phone B. You can create two different line items for that. Okay, so this is a line item for phone A, for example, and this is a line item for phone B, for example. Line item. Okay. And like I said, line item contains instructions, like how many impressions, which time period they want to show, like from which date to which date you want to show, where do you want to show. All of those instructions are contained inside of line items. So line item is like a campaign. Again, it contains things like how many impressions, start date, end date, particular demographics, particular locations. All of these things are contained inside of line item. Okay, and then line item itself contains creatives. Creatives are the actual ad that you see. The actual images that you see. Okay, and again, there can be multiple creatives inside of this. Okay, so these things are called creatives. So creatives. Okay, so these creatives are what will actually show in this spot. Okay, so once again, just a quick review. You've got an ad unit on your place. To run your ad units, you need orders from different people. So in this case, let's say I have orders from two different companies, Samsung and Apple. So they all want a certain number of impressions from this particular ad unit. Now, the details for the order are contained inside of something called a line item. So line item contains all the details for that particular order. And within the line item, you've got creatives. Creatives are those visual graphics, visual images that you see. So creatives actually get placed inside of this ad unit. So similarly, Apple may have its own line items. Any order has to have at least one line item. It can have multiple line items, but at least one line item. Without a line item, an order cannot exist. And within that, it has its own creatives. I hope this makes a little bit of sense because this actually helps you visualize how DFP works. And once I go inside of DFP and I actually create these ad units and orders and line items, it will become a little bit more clear for you. Okay, looks like there's a question. Harish says text and display campaign. It could be anything, Harish. If you're talking about this, it could be anything. Typically, it could be a image ad, text ad, video ad, anyone. So Samsung can come and tell me, I mean, Samsung once it signs up, it could run anything over here. It could be an image ad, text ad, video ad, whatever Samsung wants. Okay, so and the best part is if there's no order, if no company has approached you directly, then AdSense will come into picture. So your ad spot won't go blank. If nothing else is available, then AdSense will come and it will show its ad over here. So you see, it's going to give, maximize the revenue for you, because any given day, a direct order from a company like this is going to be much more, much more profitable for you. So DFP will actually show their, ads first, and when there's no ads to show, it will fall back to AdSense so that your ad unit does not remain blank at any time. Is it clear? Again, I'm sure that you still need more clarification on this, but I hope this, at least the basic idea is clear, and I'll show this with a couple of examples. This will become even more clear. So you got your ads. Ads can show ads based on an order. An order contains line items, and line items as creators. And I'll refer to this as I actually create the examples. So once again, guys, can you please confirm if you go, if you can move ahead? Okay. All right. Yes, I will be showing examples. Simranjeet, we are not covering DSP. We're not covering DSP in this session. All right. With that, let's go back to our website. Our DFP, and let's start doing it. So first, I'll start off with creating how to create this window box. Simranjeet, just hang on. I mean, I'm obviously showing this to you, right? I'll be doing this. Don't worry. So we'll do this thing. What I just showed you graphically over here. I'm just going to show that. So just hold your horses. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So let's again. I'll use the same example on my website Sorry. So go to forwardbiker.com, and the same example I'm going to be using. So I have a website, and I'll create my ad units for this location. In fact, the same 3 locations which I just described, right? So I'll create my ad units for 1, 2, 3, and that last one at the bottom, 4 locations. So I'll create 4 different, ad units. So like this one, and then there was a big one over here, and then there will be another ad over here. Okay, so I'll create those 4 ad units over here. Then I'll create some test orders for them. We'll assume that some company approached us. We'll create some orders for them, and from there we'll create line items, and then we'll put the ads in them. The session is supposed to last until 9, but I guess it will go a little late into that because I still have to show you all this stuff. So let's quickly go ahead. Now I need to start off with my planning first. Once again, you can plan it on paper or software like this, and you can plan for all the ad units. I've already planned that I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 ad units, and I'll create those 4 ad units here. So I'm going to remove AdSense from my websites now, okay, from my page now. In fact, delete the whole thing, because I'll replace that with DFP now, okay. So these are the 2 sidebar ads which I had created. I'll go back to my theme options, and from there I'll also remove the ads which I had created using AdSense. So this will be replaced now with DFP. I think one was there. Okay, so save all changes. Now that's all there is. Now site is completely blank now. No ads anywhere. So see that even those 2 have disappeared now, and these 2 spaces have now collapsed because there's no ad now. All right, so let's continue. So now go back to AdSense. I know that I've made my planning, and I need to have 4 ad units in my place. So I'll first start off with ad units. So to create ad units, you need to go to not in AdSense. Let me close AdSense. Go to Ad Manager, and you need to go to your inventory. Okay, so inventory is basically a collection. Is your a collection of all the ad impressions that you have. It's like your database. How many ad impressions you have? It's all listed over here. So right now I have a 0 inventory. I mean, I have no ads right now. I'll start creating my inventory. I'll start building up my inventory by using these ad units. So I'll start creating my ad units. Inventory is basically the collection of all your ad units. Okay. So if in case you're wondering what inventory means, it's the collection of all that. So when I create 4 different ad units for all these 4 locations that I just showed you, all these 4 ad units, this, and this, in the bottom, I will create an inventory of 4 ad units. So right now it's completely blank. Let's create my first ad unit. So new ad unit, and you just choose current level. I'll come back to network a little bit later on. 99% of the cases you'll choose at the current level, and I need to give this new unit a name. Okay, so I need to tell DFP what is the name for this ad unit. For example, I'll use the same example as before. So I'll call it, let's keep it short, FB for Forever Biker, top, in fact, LB for leaderboard and top. So I'll just keep this simple. Forever Biker, leaderboard, top. Name is actually the same thing as code, so just copy the same thing and fill it over here. Remember, you cannot use spaces here, otherwise this time you'll get an error. And I've got this habit of using these hyphens from DFP. If you do not put the spaces over here, you'll get an error. Okay, so this is my Forever Biker, leaderboard, top. Name, I mean, they can be the same exactly. There's no problem. There's no problem with that. Description is optional, but you can enter something like this: ad unit appears on the top of the page below the header. Okay, so if other people are also working on this, you have to kind of you can enter some description so that they understand. Now, what size is the ad going to be? I know that this is 728 by 90, so I'll choose this from here. So click on this fixed size thing, and you can decide whether it's a smart banner or a fixed size. Fixed size is like I said, 728 by 90 or whatever size you decide. Smart banner is responsive and fill up any space available. I'll just go with fixed size for right now. And then here you can select. Once you put your mouse, you will be able to select all the different sizes. So I know that I want 728 by 90 size over there. So I click it, click outside, and this gets saved over here. Target window is if there's an ad here and somebody clicks on it, where should it go? Should it open in a new window or the same window? If it's underscore blank, it will open up in a new window. Okay, so a new tab. So underscore blank is a good option, but if you click on override, you can choose underscore top, which means that it will open up in the same window. So people see an ad, they click here, it will open right here. This may not be a good idea because then people will leave your site and go to some other site. So I always prefer to open it in a new site, a new window. So I just do a clear override. The basic is, the default attribute is underscore blank. Okay. Reward is something we will not be using, but just to explain what reward means, some cases you must have played some games, right? In which, let's say there's a life system. Once you have used up all your 5 lives, you cannot play the game again. But to get a new life, they give an option that watch this video to get a new life, right? You must have seen this in some games that you play on your mobile phone, or to get more gold, for example, in your game, you have to watch some ad. So this is something that is used in situations like these. So let's say watching a ad or clicking on an ad basically gives some points to people. You can set the reward value over here. Now we're not going to do that, so we'll just leave it blank. But in case you're trying to create a system where if a user, let's say Samsung comes to me, let's go here. Samsung comes to me and tells me that, you know what, here's an ad, I'll pay you for the impressions. But if somebody clicks on the ad and watches a video, I want to assign them 5 points. Okay, so this 5 points you will enter over here. Okay, but again, we'll leave this for right now. We're not going to bother with rewards right now. Placement is optional, and I'll come back to placements in just a moment. Placements is very important, but I want to keep it very simple right now. So we'll come back to placements later on. AdSense inventory settings enabled. This is what I meant, which means that if there is no order for anybody, if there's no company which is trying to run your ads in this particular location, then by default AdSense will show up. Okay. And this is what it means by override. I'll come back to this a little bit later on as well. Frequency capping, again, if you want to control how many times a person sees an ad, you can do this. I won't do this. And finally, this is refresh rate. It's only applicable to mobile phones. In mobile phones, what happens is typically there are no pages, right? People stay on one screen for a very long time. Let's say they're playing a game and they can stay half an hour on the same game. So if you want to maximize your ad revenue there, you can choose a refresh rate so that after, if you let's say 60 seconds, for example, after every 60 seconds, the ad will refresh. So for example, this is a mobile screen. You're playing a game at the top somewhere here. This is your game area. At the bottom, there's an ad. Okay. Now, people are playing the game. People tend to remain on the same screen for hours on end, right? So, and if just one ad shows up, it's not going to make you money. Okay. So what you can do is, if you are running this on a mobile device, you can choose a refresh rate, which means that after every 60 seconds or 30 seconds, the ad will refresh, a new ad will play, and that will give you more impressions and therefore more money. So like I said, it's not going to be applicable to me because I'm working on a website. But if you have a mobile, you could choose this. You can make it like 30 seconds if you want. The minimum is 30 seconds. You cannot make it like 5 seconds so that, ad changes after every 5 seconds and you make a lot of money. This is not going to happen. So just keep it 30, but again, no refresh because for me it doesn't matter. I'm working on a desktop. So this is my first ad unit. I gave it a name, chose a size. Everything else is almost optional, and just click on save. Okay. So this ad unit will show up over here. I'll quickly create a couple more ad units. So new ad unit, current level, and I'll choose, this time it's going to be FP. I'll just create 2 ad units, FP on the sidebar. Okay. Top sidebar. Name, again, you can just type the name. Name can have spaces, that's okay. So FP top sidebar. But I actually have a habit. I just copy the same thing and I paste the same thing over there. Description, I won't do this right now. Fixed size, and this is going to be 300 by 250. Okay, so this is what I want to select, not this. So this is the size. I select this size. Again, everything else is kind of the same. Nothing else. I just want to, I just give it a name and give it a, this one, and click on save. Okay, so I now have two different ad units now. FP top, this, and that's it. Now if I go back to my ad units, I'll see these two ad units right here. Now creating ad units is okay, but the next step is you actually want to put some code on your website as well. Like you just created over here, but you haven't put anything on the site yet. So next thing is once you have generated your ad units, the next thing that you need to do is you need to create those create the tags for them. Okay, so to create the tags, select any one of those ad units, and you see it says generate tags right here. It's kind of a confusing interface because most people tend to look in this area, but the generate tags happens here on the right hand side. Okay, I hope you can see this, the big mouse cursor. So select these ad units one by one, and you can start generating the tags for them. So I'll select I think select both of them. No, I can just select one of them. So let's start off with the top one, and I'll generate the tags for them. This will be the Google Publisher tag. Now just leave everything as default. Don't have to worry about anything. Leave everything as default right now. Just click on continue, and then it will give you a bit of a code. Okay. Now this code actually is supposed to go into the head section. Okay. This will go into the head section of your website, and this is going to go into the body section where the ad is actually supposed to appear. Okay. So I'm going to copy this. It also shows you that this is supposed to go into the head section. So this is going to be common for all the different ad types. So this is okay. I'm going to copy this, come back to my Forever Biker. I'll go back to the dashboard. In fact, the dashboard is open here. Again, you have been doing this for a long time to include code in certain areas of your website. You can use a tool like headers and footers, for example. So in my case, again, my theme provides all that option. But if you're using headers and footers, which I believe most of you are using, I'll go to insert headers and footers and include this into the head section. So this is the code that goes into the head section, and just click on save. And then this code is actually going to go where the ad is supposed to appear. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, come back to my my dashboard, and I want this ad to appear here, right? So this is actually the common code that you just put. This is the common code that goes into the head section. You just have to do it once, and after that, wherever you want to put the ad, you get that second code from here, the ad unit itself, and you put this wherever you want the code to appear. Okay, so copy and paste this tag. If you click anywhere, it will show you what you need to do with this. So copy and paste these tags into the body section. So where you want the ads to appear. So let's copy this. Click on done, come back here. I know that I do this inside of my theme options, ad options, and I want to put this into the banner area. Okay, and then just click on save all changes. Okay, now I'll only do it for this one right now because I want to just keep things moving a little bit fast. Let's wrap it up quickly. So I've created my ad units. Okay, ad units. If I click back again, I see both the ad units, and I've included the copy of the ad over here. Again, nothing will show up right now because you can see the space increased. Now there's something over here, but it's blank. It's blank because one, there's no order right now. Okay, and also my AdSense isn't allowed right now. Right? My website is not approved yet, but we'll create a random order here. Okay, so once again, I hope everything is clear up to this point. We have just created an ad unit. It's similar to what we did with AdSense. We created our ad units and we generated the codes for that, and we put it on the website. That's all we have done so far. I hope everybody is clear on this. We can move ahead. All right. Looks like a lot of you have really either you started watching the match or you're actually checked out a bit, because just a couple of guys are responding now. Anyway, let's go back. Order now. So now I said that once you have an ad unit, in order to put some ads over here, AdSense, you need to create an order. And when there's no order, AdSense will work. So if my AdSense was working, I would have started seeing ads over here. Okay, but my AdSense isn't working. But we'll create a general order now. Let's go to an order. So to create orders, you need to go to delivery. So it has kind of rearranged the tabs, so even I'm finding it difficult to find everything. So inside of delivery, there's something called an order. Okay, so click on orders, and there's no order right now. So like, okay, there are some orders over here. This is from a previous test, so I'm going to ignore this. So let's create a new order. Ignore everything else. For you guys, it will be blank. I can actually select them, and I can actually archive them so that they archiving is like deleting them. Nothing gets deleted, but they're saved in an archive. So this is a good way. If you're coming here for the first time, you won't see anything, so it's archived. It's fine with me. This is how it will look like when you come here for the first time. So let's create a new order. Okay, new order is done like this. Click on new order, and then, so again, coming back to my diagram, I set up my ad unit, and now I'm creating this first order. Okay, let's assume that Samsung actually came to me and they want to run ads. So this is a cycling blog, so Samsung won't come to me. Let's say some cycling company came to me and they want to run ads. Okay, so in the new order, first you have to put the name of the order and then the name of the advertiser. So let's start off with the name of the advertiser. You see there's some details already here from when I previously used this. Google DFP was actually part of EduPristine's digital marketing course earlier on, and all this was created during these tests. But let's say my advertiser is somebody who is into, who manufactures cycles, for example, and they want to run their ads here. So this company, let's call it the Bike Shop. Okay, it's a random company, the Bike Shop. Let's do it like this. In fact, sorry, this is the wrong one. If you click here, you have to add a new company. You can just type it. You can choose any of those existing advertisers, or you can add a new company. Looks like there's a question. Yeah, Giant, Trek, Cannondale, anybody, but I'm just trying to avoid any of those actual names. So advertiser, this is an advertiser. Remember I talked about advertiser and ad networks. So Google AdSense is an ad network, and similar to Google network, I showed you all those alternatives. If you are going to use any of the alternatives, you can choose an ad network. For example, you know, Pop Cash, I told you, right? Or Pop Ads. As you keep on typing, you'll see some of these things. So Google AdSense is right here. So these are the ad networks, okay? But I'm not adding an ad network, I'm adding an advertiser. So again, I'm assuming that a bike manufacturing company came to me and they want to run ads in this one, in this spot right now at the top leaderboard, okay? So the name of the advertiser is the Bike Shop. This is a fictional name, there's no such real company, but I'm assuming that somebody came to me from this company. So save the company. Company came up, and let's say they want to run an ad, run bike ads. So a name is like, you know, bike ads from the Bike Shop. Let's call it TBS. TBS stands for the Bike Shop, okay? So this is advertiser. So they want to run, you can give whatever name you want depending on what these guys have talked to you. Trafficker is basically the owner of this account. You can add more users to this. I'll show that to you later on. Right now it's my account, and therefore I am, my name is the only one which is here. So you have to have at least one trafficker. Labels are optional. All these advertiser contacts and all this information is optional. So I'll not be filling in all these optional order fields. I'm just going to collapse it. If you want to enter details like agency contacts and all this contact number and so on, you can enter it. It's optional. I just want to create the new order. Okay. So I just created a new order, and you see that this is that order I was talking about, right? And what does an order contain? Order contains a line item, and line item is the description for that order, right? So line item is like all the instructions for that order. So where do you want to show the ad? How many times do you want to show the ad? Are there any specific dates? All of that I can choose here. So think of a line item as a campaign, right? So, and I also told you that any DFP order has to have at least one line item. Without a line item, it will not work. And therefore, when you create an order, the line item is already there by default. So when you create a new order, the first line, at least one line item has to be there by default. So let's say bike ads, this guy, the Bike Shop, wants to run two ads for two different cycles. Okay, let's say a cycle model X1 and cycle model X2. So what should I do? Based on what I showed you over here. So the company TBS, the Bike Shop, came to me and they placed an order with me, but they want to promote two different bikes. So what should I do here? They want to show ads for two different bikes. Come on guys, think of it. looking at this example? No responses. Looks like you're a bit confused. One response. Take one in A and second in B. Create two orders. No, this is what I was talking about. So Tarun and Simranjeet, both of you are wrong. No two orders. So see, order is for a specific company. Okay. Let's go up. So here's my ad unit. Okay. And TBS came to me, the bike shop came to me, and they placed an order. So typically create an order for a different company. Okay, so this is an order from TBS. But within an order, I can have two different line items. Think of line item, I told you this, right? I mean, think of this. I told you that line item is like a campaign. So if they have two different bikes to promote, they can create two different campaigns, right? Or two different line items. So they have to create two different line items. And line item 1 will contain images from that line item only. So if they have two bikes to promote, all these images will be of that bike model 1. And in this second line item, they will add images of the second bike. Okay. So if there are two different bikes to promote, they can create two different line items. So LI1, line item 1, and this is LI2, line item 2. Okay. Orders are for different companies. If there's just one company, you create one order and you can create any number of line items within it. Is that clear? Okay, so I'll go ahead and create my first line item. So let's say this line item is for bike M1. So bike model 1. I'm just, again, assuming any fictional bike model 1. Inventory sizes, where do you want to, what size of ad do you want to run? So again, this is something that the bike shop will have to tell me what size ads they want to run. If they want to run ads here at the top, let's actually remove this. If they want to run an ad here at the top, the size that they want is 728 by 90, right? So they will select 728 by 90 over here. Again, if I click over here, I can scroll down and find that size 728 by 90 right here. Okay. Click outside, so this size has got selected. Labels, comments are all optional. I'm not going to do any of these optional fields today. Let's look at some of the settings. Settings has these different levels, okay? This is priority level, okay? You may have multiple advertisers on board, so you can set a different priority for them. Sponsorship has the highest priority, which means that if there are multiple advertisers, in this case, for example, you may have Samsung and Apple and somebody else, but Samsung is giving you the highest number of money. So you want to give them the highest priority, right? You want to show more of their ads. So you can give them the highest priority here. The highest priority is sponsorship. Below that is standard, below that is network, below that is bulk, price priority, so on. So this is how you assign priority. Now, I'm not going to go into details for all of these things. You can just click on this type here and that will tell you all the instruction, all the information that you need. You just need to know that you define your priority right here. I'll keep it to a standard priority, but here I'll give it a high priority. So even within this standard priority, I can still give it a high priority. So for example, if there are two advertisers, both of them having a standard priority, if one of them has a high, then his ads will show up first. Okay, so I'll keep this as standard high. And again, remember what I said, line items contain the details like when the ad shows, where it shows, to whom it shows, and all those things, right? So this is what we're doing right now. Line item, I can choose the priority, I can choose the start time. So let's say I want it to start immediately and end on, let's say, end of the year, for example. So December 2019. So I want to run this ad starting today and going all the way up to the end of the year. And let's say the bike shop, PBS, is paying me rupees, I don't know, let's say 150 for, not 550, 150 for 1,000 impressions, okay? So I'm being paid on CPM basis right now. And I have promised them, let's say 50,000 impressions. Okay, so 50,000 impressions is what I have promised them. So starting today all the way up to the end of the year, I promised TBS that I'll give you 50,000 impressions. And since also I can choose impressions, clicks, or stuff like this, I'll leave it to impressions. And since the bike shop is paying me 150 rupees for each 1,000 impressions, I'm able to make how much? 7,500. Sometimes I may even offer a discount to the bike shop because they frequently run ads for me. So let's say I do a 20% discount from them. So I'll make 6,000 rupees from this particular campaign. That's too little. but because again the number of impressions is too low. That's okay. Again, adjust delivery. This is like how fast your ads will be shown. Front loaded will basically mean now my time period is starting today all the way to the end of the year, right? So front loaded basically means that DFP will try to show my ads as quickly as possible in the initial months, so that at the end it doesn't have any timelines, any deadlines hanging on. Evenly means it will try to show the ads as evenly as possible throughout the year. Front loaded means more ads will be shown in the beginning months. As fast as possible will basically try to show ads as fast as possible. This depends on how many impressions your website is generating, and that will depend on how much traffic you get. But it will try to show ads as fast as possible, and your whole campaign may run out even before the end of the year. And in that case, what will happen is Google AdSense will take over. After 50,000 impressions are over, this ad will actually stop. This line item will stop. And if there's no other, order or no other line item, then Google AdSense will start over. So this is what I use. Display creators, you can have only one creative or more than one creative, or you can show the same ad in as many different locations as possible. So again, to keep things simple, we'll just leave it to one or more. Rotate creators, again, evenly or optimized. Again, I'll leave it for you guys to read the details. These are like self-explanatory. And if you've done your Google AdWords, then you probably understand all of these things already. Again, I can choose day and time. I can edit the times of the day. Everything is possible. So all of these instructions, these are like campaign details. And like I said, all of this instruction is contained inside of line item. So once I go down, I have an option to choose where do I want to show these ads. Okay. Now I've already chosen the size of these ads, right? I am saying that this line item only consists of one size, 728 by 90. So at the bottom, it will show me all the available ad units, and I can choose the size. For example, I can go to ad units, and it's showing me only one ad, which is 728 by 90, right? Here, it will only show me all the ad units which I've created. Remember, I created ad units here. The first step that I did was add units. I just created one ad unit right now, but if I created multiple ad units, it will only show me all the ad units which are 728 by 90 size, because I've already specified in the beginning that this line item only applies to ad sizes or ad units which are 728 by 90. So I'm seeing all the ads which are in that size, all the available ad units which are in that size. Currently, I just have one, and I can include this. Okay, so I can include this, and that's it. I don't have to do anything. I can click on save right now. So again, what we have done so far is we created, an ad unit. Then we created an order. Within that order, I created one line item. I'll create one more line item just to show you the difference between them. So I'll create one more line item. So I'm inside of the bike shop order, bike ads from TBS. I can create one more line item. So I can click on this new line item. So this is the name of the line item. So this is, what name did I give my other line item? Let me go back. I want it to be consistent. So this is called bike M1. So new line item, I'll call this bike ad M2. Okay, so bike M2. Inventory sizes, this will also be, let's say 728 by 90. So, or you know what, yeah, let's do 728 by 90 because that's the only one where I place ad, right? So 728 by 90. Ignore all of this. This will be standard, and again, its priority will also be high. So I have created two line items, both of them at a standard priority and a high priority, right? Start time, this will be, let's say, this also I make it immediately, and the end time is again, let's say by the end of this month. This I only want to run for short period. I want to give it like 20,000 impressions. Price that they pay for this is, let's say, 200 per 1,000 impressions. And I'm not giving them any discount on this, so I'm able to make 4,000 rupees from this, right? So two line items, everything else constant. I'll just choose ad units. Now, just a quick tip for you. If you do not manually select ad units, then ads will run on the network, which means that they will find any existing ad unit with the right size, and it will automatically run over there. So if you want to manually control where your ads run, you can actually select it. Otherwise, leave it at run of network, which means that this size ad, it's trying to run this size ad. It will find any other location on my page which has 728 by 90, and it will run its ad over there. But I like to control where my ads show, so I'll just choose include. So again, I've assigned 2 line items to this location here. I have one order from the bike shop and I've assigned 2 line items over here. Okay, so this is what we've done so far. We have created an ad. We got an order from Samsung, not Samsung, in this case the bike shop, and we created 2 line items. One is for a bike ad A and one is for bike ad 2. So we call them M1 and M2, model 1 and model 2. Okay, so these are the 2 line items, and within the line items we defined when these ads should show and where these ads should show. I think this is clear, right? There's one step left, however. What is that? I've set up everything right, but there's one thing that I need to do. Again, look at this image and tell me what's missing. Come on, guys, hurry up. Okay, that's what I showed you, right? So see, again, you've created an ad and you got an order from the bike shop. The bike shop wants to run ad here, right? So you got an order for this one. So bike shop wants to run an ad here. You created the order which contains 2 line items. So 1 line item for each of their bike models. So I've created the line items, but line items contain what? Creatives, right? The actual images that need to show up, right? So think logically. I created this ad spot here. I assigned it to the bike shop, and both the line items will show up over here, right? But I did not define what shows up here, like the creative. The creatives are still to be shown. So I have not defined my creatives yet. So the creatives, see this creative, this is what I mentioned over here. So we need to create the creatives now. So if I go back to Ad Manager, that's okay, Pallavi. No need to say, oops. I know this has been a long session and you're probably not as engaged right now. I can feel this given the level of enthusiasm right now. But again, this session is being recorded. Anytime you want to understand this, come back, watch it a few times, and this will become very clear. So with that, let's go back to our orders now. So see, I have one, just to review everything, I have one order from bike ads, and see, it says it needs creatives. I did not add any creatives. Creatives are those actual ads that you see, right? I have not added this. But within this order, you see I've got, what? Only 1 line item? I created 2 line items, right? Did I not save that? Damn. So new line item. This is called, what was it called? Let me refresh it, make sure. I think I did. I created a line item but not saved this. I started talking to you guys. So the fun will actually begin when in just a moment you will actually see the ad start running on the website. So looks like I did not do it. My bad. Very quickly go ahead and do this. So I'll create a second line item. This is bike M2. Inventory sizes is again 728 by 90. Oops, select this. Everything is optional, standard, high, this one starts now and ends at the end of this month. I am giving them, let's say 20,000 impressions, and they're paying me 200 rupees for each impression, so I'm going to make 4,000 rupees by the end of this month. Everything I'll just leave to default. I'll just select the ad units here. The size I mentioned here, 720 by 90, right? So I need to select all ads which are that size, 720 by 90. I just selected, save. Okay, so now I have an order which is called this. Now it says it needs 2 creatives. So bike ads, this is the order. Within that order, I have two line items. This is again matching up with what I have done over here. So an ad unit, then this is an order for TBS. Within that, I created 2 different line items. One for, bike model 1, one for bike model 2, M1 and M2. I now need to put these creatives, these images or whatever I have, right? So these creatives are also provided to me by the company. TBS will give it to me. Now, TBS can give it to me in the form of, some script or, an actual image, whatever they do. So let's say that in this case, TBS gave me images. Okay, I'll quickly create 2 images to add creatives. And I know that the sizes are going to be 728 by 90. So these are the ads that will run on my site. So create. So this is 720 by 90. Looks a little big. Control-Command-Alt-I, 728 by 90. Yeah, that's correct. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this. I'll just create some ads for this guy here. So let's do, oops, what happened? So this color, I'll go up and maybe change the color to something darker, lighter, and okay. Let's take up the text tool and I'll type something. Let's call this bike M1. So this is the ad for the first bike. Make it even darker. Okay, let's choose a font which is thicker, impact, regular, and let's actually make it all, oops. Okay, so this is my ad, and just for a good measure, of course not the real ad, I'll have to put some images of the bikes and so on, but that's okay. And finally, I'll put a call to action button on this so that people can click on it and go to some site. So let's choose the ellipse, not ellipse tool. Let's choose the rounded rectangle tool. Shape is fine. Radius is too much. 6 pixels should be good enough. And the color of this, I'm going to make it this color. Create this little rectangle here. Okay, and here I can enter some text. Let's call it, choose an Arial. Let's call it Buy Now. Font color could be this one. So assume that this is one of the ads that I've created, and file, export, save for web, save it as a ping file to my desktop. Let's call it ad1, ad M1 for model 1. And I'll just make this little change. I'll call it M2. File, save for web. Where's that? Save for web. Export, save for web. In a hurry, when I'm like kind of forgetting my own Photoshop. So save. This is going to be add m2.png. Okay. So I'm going to, what I'm assuming here is that again, the bike shop came to me. Let's come back here. The bike shop came to me and they placed the order. They told me what all they want to do. Plus, they also gave me those images. They gave me one image for this M1, and they gave me one image for this M2. So two of my line items can have two of these creatives now. So both of these items can have one image each, right? So if I go into a bike M1, for example, you see that it now has a creative section. It says 0 creatives. If I go to creatives, again, there's no creative. It's telling me that I need to upload a creative of the size 728 by 90. So click on new creative. And I can either upload an image or I can use any of these options. So the company, the third-party company which is coming to me, like the bike shop or anybody else, they could give me a code as well. I could implement the code. My case, I'm just going to use an image. So I can simply drag and drop the image. Go to desktop. And from here, I'm going to get the ad M1 and put it right here. Okay. So the first creative got added. So this is what will appear over here when the first line item is showing up. And there's some more things left. I need to, tell it. This is how it looks like. Looks fine actually. And I need to tell it, density is all about optimization, how good the quality of the image is. So again, you can leave it at 1.5. Click through URL. What happens when somebody clicks on this ad? Where do they go to? So in this case, I'm just going to send it to, let's remove the caps lock. Let's send them to google.com. Okay. Everything else is again optional. I'm just going to click on save. Okay. And that's done. Let's go back to the order. And I have created the creative for this one. Now let's go back to M2. And you'll see that, again, this one has no creative. So I need to click on new creative for the second line item. Same thing, I'll add the second ad here. So M2 for this one. And the only thing that I need to do is send it to HTTP. Let's say this one goes to bing.com, just as an example. You can also click on this to test if the page is working fine. Yes, it's going to bing.com. It's good. Close this. So M1 and M2 done. Click on save. Okay, now there's one thing still left. I've created these orders, but I've not made them live yet. So go back to orders, and if you, it says needs creatives, two creatives. It's actually a bug in DFP, even though I've added the 2 images required. So one creative each for each of the line items. It's still telling that it needs creatives. If I refresh it a couple of times, it will actually go away. Or you just wait for some time and it will go away. So even after putting creatives, it's still telling me that it needs creatives. That's okay. I go inside, and these are the 2 line items, but they're not live yet. Okay, so I need to select them and click on approve. So this is the button that I need to click on. So click on approve, and it's telling me that there is an overbooking warning. Okay, what is it? So remember, for my line item 1, I promised them 50,000 impressions, and for the line item 2, I promised the bike shop 20,000 impressions. But my site doesn't have that many impressions right now, right? Because this tool actually, I copied the code from here to my site, right? So it's able to check my website, and it knows that my website does not have that many impressions right now. So that's okay. It's just giving me a warning. It's saying that I may not be able to generate so many revenues, which I promised to these guys. But that's okay. I'll just click on approve anyway. As my site grows, it will get more traffic, and I still have to give them 50,000 impressions by the end of the year, right? So that will work. It still says need creators, which is odd. Should have got fixed by now. So let's go to bike M1. And in the creative section, it does say that there's a creative, so this is a bug. Go to bike ads 2, go to this one. It still says that there is a, yeah, I have a creative here, so that's a bug actually. So what I've done here is created an ad unit, assigned an order to it, then created 2 line items, the line items from the same company, the bike shop. It wants to run 2 different campaigns, one for each of their bikes. Since I want to run 2 different ad campaigns, I've created 2 different line items. And for each of the line items, the bike shop gave me 1 image each, one for the bike model 1, one for the bike model 2, and I have included them right here. So I have the order, this order, bike ads from TBS. Within that, I have 2 line items, and within the line item, I have the creative. And it says active now, which means it's working. That's good. So active is not the same as delivering. So if I now refresh the site, I should see the image, but I won't because it will take a little while. But it's active. Once it starts to deliver, it just takes a little while to prepare stuff. But it's active, which means that everything is ready. Now the message regarding creatives is gone. If I go back to orders, it says ready, but in just a few minutes, ready will turn into delivering. And when that happens, I'll start seeing the ads on this site. And what will happen is, right now, both the line items have the exact same priority. So both the ads should show one by one on the site right now. And remember, line item 1, I've given them 50,000 impressions, right? So again, if I go in here, bike M1, I've given this guy how many impressions? 50,000 impressions. And if I go to the second one, M2, oops, to this guy, I have given 20,000 impressions. So roughly 70,000 impressions. So until 70,000 impressions are generated, the bike 1 ad and the bike 2 ad will show. And once those 70,000 ads are over, and if by then I do not have any other order, any other company trying to run ads for me, then Google AdSense will take over and their ads will start to show. Does this make it clear for most of you? So this is slightly complex interface. I understand that. I tried to explain this multiple times using images and then showing you practically how exactly it's done. Trust me, once you have a little bit more fresh mind, and if you just log into your LMS and watch this video again, this will be like very clear. And this is a very exciting job opportunity as well, because all these big sites who are basically content publishers and generate revenues from managing multiple ads, they actually look for people who are well versed with tools like Google DFP and ad networks and so on. So this will add a lot of weight to your resume. This will open up your resume to job opportunities with not just service-based companies, but also with companies who are into publishing business and who are trying to make revenue through ads. And there are big publishing houses. There are companies like Times of India, for example. That's a publishing house, right? So there are big publishing networks that pay a lot of money to people who are actually very comfortable with running ad networks and understand ad networks and run tools like DFP and so on. And Times of India, for one, I know is they use the DoubleClick for Publishers. I've actually worked with them in the past. I've actually consulted them in the past, and I've trained one of the teams on Google DFP. So hopefully this will also be of a big help to you guys. There was a question from Satadal. Again, Basu, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right, but yeah, go ahead, ask the question. Does Google Click have any advantage for advertisers besides publishers? See, DoubleClick for advertisers has the same amount of advantages as you have for publishers, right? So if you are an advertiser, it's a different tool. It's called DFA, DoubleClick for Advertisers. So it basically finds out the best sources for you. It tries to show your ads on pages which will give you the most conversion, most brand awareness, and all those things. So yes, there's a big advantage to advertisers also. But for advertisers, you cannot use DFP. You have to use DFA. DoubleClick for Advertisers, and DoubleClick for Advertisers is not the same as DFP. You cannot just sign up for DoubleClick for Advertisers. To become an advertiser with DoubleClick, you have to actually call up Google. You have to send a mail to them, and they will call you back, and then you'll have to talk to them. There's a minimum requirement. You have to pay a certain amount of money. It's a huge amount of money actually, and only then you'll get accepted into the DFA network. So that's something else. We are not going to discuss DoubleClick for Advertisers here, but I hope this is clear to you guys. I think we can wrap up now. There were a couple of things, but maybe I'll do another session on DFP just to cover those. But the basics of DFP is done. This is how you manage most of your accounts. If I come back to orders and refresh, I just want to see this change to delivering. And once it changes to delivering, it's still ready right now. It's just ready right now, but once it starts to deliver, I'll start to see those ads over here. So you can come back later, maybe sometime, and check this off. Just refresh this, and you'll be able to check it. So that's it. Slightly longer session today, half an hour later than the expected time, but I hope this was an interesting session. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope this is something that will help you in the longer run as well. So that's it. A rather trying session for me too, almost 3.5 hours speaking directly, but that's okay. Once again, guys, watch this video later on, and add expert Google DoubleClick for publishers user in your resumes, and you'll get a lot of benefit from from this. So it looks like there's a new site. No wonder you are attending this class on Google AdSense and DFP, because once you have enough content on it, and once the content is good, I think you can. Looks like. Have you written the content, or is it just headlines right now? One thing I noticed, the site, okay, the content is there. Looks good actually. The site is good. So yeah, congratulations to you. Go ahead, work on the site, add some good high quality content, and you can apply for AdSense. Once you have AdSense, you can also apply for Google DoubleClick, and that will help you monetize your websites much better. Okay, so good one. That's nice. All right, guys. So that's it. Let me close off the session now. So I had a good time. I hadn't really worked on both AdSense and DFP for a really long time. So it was a good opportunity for me to come back, and it's good to see that I still remember most of that stuff, even though I haven't really used them for a long time. And since I'm actually starting off with a few websites now, I'll actually be using them now. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll meet again. Let's see when one of the next sessions. Not decided what that is going to be. But will inform you later on. So take care. Good night, and have fun. See you later. Bye bye.